But anyway, let's go back and get what I was supposed to get in the first place. But I don't know. All this YouTube drama stuff is just so stupid. And I don't know. Of course, like, then it ends up leeching its way onto Facebook, and then people are like, so, oh, I'm so up in arms and so outraged about this. And it's like, you don't care. You're like, fuck off. Like, you don't know them. They're just a face on the other end of a video. To me, it's all the same as that, like, whole Matt Lauer sexual harassment thing. Like, who gives a fuck? Look at Matt Lauer. He looks like a creep. Did you really not expect that? Like, the way him and Katie Couric talk to each other, did you really not expect this to happen? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? But I don't know. It's like one of those, like, everybody, like, seems to live in this, like, glass house where they, like, oh no, they said something remotely controversial, you better, you know, get on them about it. And they always make these, like, ridiculous assertions, like, oh man, PewDiePie said the N-word, like, clearly he hates black people, and, you know, this is the reason why we need more civil rights. And, like, oh please. It's just a load of shit. It's distractions. But as for usual, I mean, like most things, it's just ruined by trash people that want drama and want absolute horse shit all the time. I just find it amusing that it's like, who gives a fuck about these people? I don't know. Personally, like, when there used to be drama on YouTube a long time ago, it was always, like, really messed up stuff. Like the one dude who was a pedophile and whatever it is, something Valis, you know, and stuff like that. That was, like, a big deal. And, like, people creating drama from, like, doxing, where they drop people's documents, you know, say who they are, where they live, where they work. That's, like, one of those things where it's just like, that's drama worthy because someone's technically committing a crime, like posting personal or, like, classified information kind of stuff on social media, which is just taboo to begin with. That's drama worthy. Or when somebody said that they were going to blow up Thunderfoot, create a new American jihad. That's something to kind of pay attention to. Oh, I can't hit both of them. I wonder if I'm being stupid and it's not actually here. But I don't know. I mean, I think today it's just so reactionary, or someone said the wrong thing, or, oh, can you believe that this person is talking trash on this person? Like, what is this, middle school? Fuck off. Let's just get the ones in Carcado Mountains, because I think it might be in the pass, and I'm just being stupid. So I'd rather get the two up here. I know I said I was going to do the other one, but I'm pretty sure it said Astorni Bridge. Backbiter? Didn't I already kill you? Damn, you couldn't even kill all of them? But, I don't know. And also, it's like people who are famous not because they have any talent or do anything. I mean, it's pretty much trash everywhere you go with that. But it's especially bad on something like YouTube and Twitch and stuff, where it's essentially meant to be like, hey, random people. But now it's all just like corporate interest nonsense. Like, it would not surprise me at all if people like Jake Paul and stuff like that were not actually real people, quote unquote, but just personalities sold to you. Like, I always get the feeling that I mean, there have been people, especially in the past, I'm not going to name them, but who have clearly Platinum Robe, who have essentially been like fake personalities. And there's one that's still on YouTube that are basically like fake personalities that are like Disney Channel characters. And it's fucking stupid. Alright, let me do this. Alright, there we go. Sorry, this thing's going crazy on my computer. Alright, there we go. But I know it's even the same, like a long time ago, there used to be only like a few video. This is like well before YouTube. There only used to be a few video services, and one of them was kind of this like indie company that was really neat and created a lot of great iconic characters and animated shorts. But you could tell that they kind of struggled with like financials and such. That was hard for them to keep up the amount of content they had. And keep it streaming regularly to people. And then, of course, there were other companies like Newgrounds that came along who were kind of along the same lines. But then there were like, the second that stuff started catching on, there was just like corporate. Like absolute like corporate interests, and created things like Sony Screen Blast, and there was a Microsoft one. It was like Flow Video or something like that. But basically these like corporate interest websites that really had garbage content started popping up everywhere. And I feel that way about YouTube. Like, there are legit YouTube channels, especially top 10 list channels, that are, you know, like owned by like CBS and stuff like that, even though they're not, like, they're people, quote unquote, but they're like indie, low budget made, quote unquote. I'm using air quotes, but you can't see it. But it's not at all. It's like, you can tell that it's like professionally made in a way that's not a way that a normal YouTuber on his first video would have. But come on. Red Talisman. That's kind of nice. But I don't know. It's just, I'm just waiting for something like that. Because, I mean, come on now. Disney's involved with them. Like, they had the whole thing like, oh, Disney is rejecting PewDiePie. Oh, did he not receive any damage from that? Nasty. But not saying it's like, damn, he has a lot of hit points. Not saying it's necessarily a bad thing if it's corporate, but I think that those people should be divided, I guess to say, like pushed away from the main like core audience, or say like sponsored by CB. Like, I mean, come on now. If normal YouTube users, if they have sponsored content, they have to like list that it's sponsored content, whether it's in the description or in the actual video. So I don't see why like corporate stuff shouldn't be like pushed to the side, or say like, hey, like you're, you know, you're a corporate interest, you're not like just a YouTube person. I don't know. Basically, I don't want YouTube or Twitch to just turn into basic cable TV, but with more idiots out doing stupid stuff. But it's also like the rise in commercials and all that nonsense is just getting too much. And the worst part is like normal YouTubers like me don't make any money off of it, whereas like a company can come in and promote the hell out of somebody and they instantly get, you know, ad revenue. They don't have to deal with copyright strikes or other stuff. Yeah, Storny Bridge. Well, let's go take care of these two. Noel's Forest. And then I'll just repeatedly do that. Stupid bridge. But it's a general frustration that a lot of YouTubers generally share, that essentially you get pushed out for corporate interests, because since it's like a free platform, nothing stops people from doing that. But it seems less and less like people who actually post to YouTube, like who are legitimate human beings, seem to be disappearing more and more and more. Or like people just don't like it because it's like underproduced content. Hello, thank you. I don't think I can hit him. Yeah, I don't have anything close enough. So, I don't know. And I mean, you can tell the difference between a lot of that different content. But it's the same thing too, like, Tumblr and Facebook have slowly been swallowed by, like, all these corporations. And it becomes less about actual content or, you know, independent things. And it just becomes this big blob of, like, corporate garbage. Like, top 10 best items on McDonald's food menus. Like, oh please, like this isn't a sponsored video. And they'll always be like, oh, just to let you know, this is totally not sponsored by them. It's like, But like if you post like a negative review, you'll probably end up getting like some sort of strike against you for it. Like, oh, you used our emblem and logo. You're a monster, Harry. But I don't know. I complain about all these things all the time, but do I really do anything about it? Not really. But I also complained heavily when it came to YouTube copyright strikes and how I thought, like, this kind of stuff that I'm doing right now isn't copyright. It should not be considered copyright. Like, even if whoever made this game came after me and said that you can't have this. Like, you can't post this stuff. I think that fair use is correct in saying that, like, no, you're wrong. He can, because, you know, he's not presenting it individually. Like, there's enough people that just have just soundtracks of games and stuff like that, just not even giving a fuck about copyright. And that inherently is kind of wrong to me, just to, like, post it. Like, I always liked when they first started with, I want to say it was Squaresoft, but it may have been somebody else that was posting just the music from their games, copyrighted and ad, and that's fine. Like, if a company themselves want to do it. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I got the other one yet. But like, if it's, you know, directly their content, certainly go ahead, do that. Like, make that your thing. But oh damn, he went first. Play fruit, nice. Life stealers are annoying, so I'd rather just kill him. I don't know. It's the same thing with, like, quote-unquote indie games. It's like, no. Let's be serious. Like, there's a few indie games, but there's a lot of them that are, like, fake indie. And that's just trash. And I do love how, for years, there's been, like, this... Like, the music industry just discovered this singing talent. The fuck? People talking about porgs. Jesus Christ. But yeah, then they'll be like, oh yeah, this person came out of nowhere. It's like the true story, and you find out, like, they've had like 2 or 3 other names, like Katy Perry. Katy Perry was originally a Christian music star with a failed career, and then they kind of like dug her up and rebranded her. And people actually listen to that garbage. Don't get me wrong, her music's catchy, but goddamn, man, come on. Like she really gives a shit about any of her music. She doesn't even know that math's related to science. Fucking embarrassing. Embarrassing for women as a whole. Embarrassing for humanity as a whole, too. Hello. Hello. Lots. Thank you, Jesus. But, I don't know. And you get weird stuff like that. For a while, when I was younger, they had a lot of quote-unquote independent films. And these were not independent films at all. These were like, yeah. I'm trying to remember one of them. I can see the poster, but I can't remember what the movie was called. But it was like listed as an independent movie. And they're like, oh, the indie movie of the year, like won all these awards. Like, and then of course in the bottom it's like of the poster, it says like a Comcast, or like, not Comcast, oh god, I can't remember the name of the company the movie company that Comcast owns. But at the bottom it said that, like, without any shame whatsoever. And like the worst part is that we had movies that were actual like indie movies that were made by like local people. I mean, I can't say necessarily that they're very good, but it's still the fact that like this is not an independent movie. It'll be like independent movie of the year, but it'll like start with like Paramount, TriStar, Bad Robot Productions presents an independent movie. I mean, I guess you could say that technically about District 9. That it's one of those like for some posters they said like an independent movie, and it's like that's like the kind of on the fence bullshit. I mean, don't get me wrong, if companies have content, that's fine, but it should be directly labeled that it is. Because, I don't know, it just makes me kind of nauseous when... So now we just do the bridge a whole shit ton of times. When basically you see independent YouTube people who are trying hard. I can think of like 2 people I know that have like a small niche cut out, and the niche has slowly been getting smaller because it's just gobbled by these like... obviously either trust fund or corporate sponsored like streamers and YouTubers that are like the fake as a wedding cake. They're like, yeah, I'm here with my brand new custom like 1080p i7 computer, and ignore my Alienware laptop that I just happened to buy. Oh yeah, and I have no time, or I have all the time in the world because I don't work or anything. Ha ha ha. Like, oh yeah, check out my Instagram. Smash that like button. But there's always these like particular phrases that are always like when things are way too corporate, and it drives me nuts. And the worst part is that there are some channels I liked that started off really young and nice and independent, and then just grew into trash content. And it's not like, oh, I'm a hipster, they're not cool anymore because they sold out, man. But it's like I don't mind some stuff that's like, oh, this episode is brought to you by blah blah blah. That's fine. Or like, oh, this is part of, you know, National Education Association or something like that. Like, that kind of content is fine because it labels itself like right away. But there is a channel I used to watch that clearly just became its own like company, and actually has vested interest in certain stuff. And also all this Hulu like nonsense, like, oh please. Like, as much as I like and respect the Slow-Mo guys, and they have some pretty good generic content, I really fucking hate that it's like, oh yeah, come watch us on YouTube Red and Hulu. Like, no, Hulu is for movies and some garbage anime. Like, no. Coming new to Netflix, PewDiePie plays Minecraft. Like, fuck off. Finally, get over here, Nibbler. I appreciate that his name was actually Nibbler. Actually, you know what? Let's move you even closer, because I imagine Mr. Nibblonian will come right in. I'm just going to end everybody else's turn. I don't know. And I always find it's funny that there's like this bizarre, I guess, click structure to certain things. I can't. No! Where you have like, bizarre things. Like one of my favorite is the fact that there's like Dan Bell, who's been doing his work for like a long time, and you can tell he's really independent and tries really hard, and like his content takes a while to fill out, and new videos to post, and that's fine. But I do find it hilarious that there are literally these like Urbex quote-unquote groups. There's one that I think their channel is gone now, but it was this group of British Urbex explorers, and their stuff was so fake, like Ghost Hunters level fake, and you could like, you know, they'd be like, out here we never know what's gonna happen, and like over dramatizing everything. Like Dan Bell has some drama, but it's like it's human drama, and I'm okay with like human drama. Like I don't feel safe in here, Will, we have to go, or oh, they're kicking us out of the mall. But I don't know, the ones where it's like, I think I heard a ghost, oh my god, what do I do? And this channel like blew up overnight. There was like constantly like 500,000 views, and just like, what the fuck is wrong with people? What is wrong with you? And not to mention the like terrible like Russian channels that are basically just like multiple channels of the same recycled garbage. And that's all here. And it's not even like good content. It's like all top 10 lists and like best movies of 2019 trailers, and it's just reposts of just shit, and YouTube doesn't do anything about them. But then again, they couldn't even handle their own kids' content, so really it's not saying too much. Alright. I can actually go to Jaharta. Wait, Jaharta was all the way around on the other side? That's weird. Let's see, do you have any missions for me? Okay, yep. Put up new posters. Okay. Changes at Amadar Temple. Can understand why monks are failing to progress in their training. Respond to Amadar Temple. Find out why they become disheartened. Is it because they don't have the water scroll anymore? Are they upset? Do the monks need a hug? Alright, but I'm going to stop talking about YouTube drama. I've talked about it for almost an hour. And things that I don't like. Let's focus on happier topics, like bunnies and their corporate interest. See, they know me by name. Like, how do you even, like, I left, like, how long ago? And you expected me to take a mission you put up? Something amiss with the monks? They've become dejected? Are they just sick of living the monk life? Okay, happy birds. Okay, so you're pretty chill. Okay. Okay. So basically the monks are bored of who they have to fight. Is that all you say? Oh yeah. I think you need a temple field trip. They're losing the thrill. Maybe you should do what Buddhists do and use sticks to keep them in line. I did watch this whole thing about Buddhist monks. And it was kind of funny that they had to like whip young monks to make sure that like if they ever tried to stray, they would be whipped. And so they stopped doing it. Because they would get like kids and they would just like beat the kids until the kids couldn't leave or didn't want to leave. Or they'd just outright threaten to kill them or their family. Completely a religion of peace. Like all religions, completely peaceful. Never commit crimes in the name of. Okay. Or you could, you know, go after the academy. Yeah, if you tell them their life experiences, they're going to want to get out of here faster. Like rats out of a sinking ship. What you should do is send off some head monks to go start another monastery somewhere and give them drive. So whenever people feel out of drive, you can transfer them between the places. So that way when they come back, they can feel at home. Or start temple building projects or something. Is Tikva now going to join? As a fully trained monk. Try get out of here, you scrub. You're too low level. So let me do this real fast. Okay.